The more you chase external validation, the more fragmented your inner world becomes. Radha, the epitome of conscious devotion, reveals, true completeness is not found in the gaze of another, but in the unwavering light of your own sovereign self. Perhaps you felt that gnawing emptiness, that persistent sense of being incomplete without a partner. This isn't just a fleeting emotion. It's a deep, silent anguish, often rooted in the fear of abandonment and the pain of not being chosen or prioritized. You strive for peace and sovereignty, seeking to resolve this internal struggle through a relationship, only to find yourself repeating patterns of emotional attachment, perhaps even addictive cycles, that leave you feeling more depleted than whole. This pervasive feeling of incompleteness, as Paramahansa Yogananda profoundly explained, is often an illusion of the mind, a vritti, or fluctuation, that obscures the inherent wholeness of the self. The needy mind projects this internal void onto external circumstances, convinced that another person, another connection, holds the key to its fulfillment. You might find yourself caught in the paralyzing anxiety of waiting for a message, interpreting silence as rejection, and constantly battling the internal war between your sovereign self, which intrinsically knows its worth, and the craving mind, desperate for external validation. This illusion whispers that your value is tied to the success or failure of a relationship, that your peace is contingent on someone else's presence. But the path of Raja Yoga teaches us that the mind, though powerful, is merely an instrument. It is the self, your true essence, that is the master, capable of directing the will to transcend these emotional dependencies. The frustration of repeating the same mistakes, of confusing fleeting passion with true conscious connection, points to a deeper truth. The solution lies not in changing the external dynamic, but in mastering the internal landscape. Radha's devotion to Krishna was not born of neediness, but of profound recognition of the divine within. Her love was a reflection of her own internal richness, not a desperate plea for completion. She embodied a truth that many modern women yearn for, to love with deep devotion, yet never losing the sacred ground of their own identity and self-sovereignty. This journey of understanding the illusory nature of your perceived incompleteness is the first step towards reclaiming your power. It's about recognizing that the chemistry you seek outwardly is, in essence, a reflection of the inner alchemy awaiting discovery. Many of us unknowingly live under the myth that completeness comes from outside, that the right relationship, the ideal partner, will finally fill the void within. This is precisely the illusion Paramahansa Yogananda speaks of. The mind, identifying with the non-self, our emotions, our body, our conditioning, creates a profound sense of lack. This craving for external union masks the inherent fullness of the self, the Atman, which is always whole, always complete. Your deepest anguish, the fear of isolation or the pain of being unseen, is often the non-self crying out for validation, trying to fulfill its needs through another person. But the true self, your radiant core, needs nothing to be complete. This persistent sense of incompleteness often manifests as a repeating pattern. You might find yourself drawn to partners who are emotionally unavailable, or perhaps you invest your entire being into a relationship only to feel drained and overlooked. This isn't a flaw within you. It's a profound teaching. As the Bhagavad Gita beautifully illustrates, our true dharma, our soul's purpose, is often obscured by our attachment to the fruits of our actions, specifically the outcome of our relationships. We become so fixated on the result, a stable, loving partnership, that we lose sight of the journey of self-realization that relationships are meant to facilitate. Consider the profound question: what part of your Atman is this recurring pain revealing? Is it the pain of a sovereign self that has forgotten its power, mistakenly identifying with the mind's incessant demands? When your consciousness is centered on the other for validation, you become like a boat without an anchor, tossed by the waves of external circumstances. The frustration of repeating these cycles, of seeking external solutions for an internal condition, is a direct call from your higher self to remember your true nature. The chemistry you feel can often be a powerful karmic pull, a resonance of unresolved past patterns rather than a true spiritual connection. This is a crucial distinction on the path of Raja Yoga, to observe these pulls without becoming entangled in them, to recognize that the intense feeling of falling in love might, at times, be the mind's ingenious way of reenacting old emotional dramas, rather than a genuine union of conscious beings. The sovereign self does not seek completion, it seeks expression and conscious connection. The mind, however, seeks what it perceives it lacks. This deep-seated longing for more from a partner or from life often stems from a fundamental misunderstanding of our own divine nature. Paramahansa Yogananda consistently taught that we are already one with the infinite, complete, and perfect. The feeling of incompleteness is merely the veil of Maya, the illusion that separates us from this truth. The journey, then, is not to find someone to complete you, but to lift that veil and discover the radiant fullness that already resides within. This is the cornerstone of true self-sovereignty, realizing that nothing outside of you can add to or detract from your inherent spiritual wealth. Your mission is to observe how your mind attaches to the idea of external completion, and then, with conscious will, gently guide it back to the truth of yourself. The practical path to unraveling this illusion of incompleteness lies in mastering the mind's tendency to crave and to identify with external validation. This is a core teaching of Raja Yoga. The self, through the power of its vontad, will, can observe and ultimately transcend the fluctuations of the mind, known as vritis. When you feel that familiar pang of incompleteness or the anxiety that arises from a perceived lack in your relationship, consider this micro-exercise, a moment of deep introspection. Close your eyes for a moment or simply soften your gaze. Bring your attention to the feeling of incompleteness or the specific craving you are experiencing. Perhaps it's the urge to check your phone or the thought that if only he would. Observe this sensation without judgment, as if it were a cloud passing in the sky of your consciousness. Now gently ask yourself, who is observing this feeling? Is it my true self? Or is it merely a thought or emotion arising in my mind? Recognize that the self is the unchanging witness, while the non-self, the craving, the anxiety, is merely a temporary experience. This practice, derived from the core principles of Raja Yoga, is about creating a sacred space between your sovereign you, self, and the restless mind. Paramahansa Yogananda emphasized that the mind often creates suffering by identifying with these external needs. When you understand that the feeling of incompleteness is a thought pattern, a vritti, you gain the power to not become it. You are not your craving. You are the awareness that observes the craving. This deep observation allows you to detach from the mind's illusion and reclaim your inner peace. Radha, in her supreme devotion, exemplified this profound mastery. Her love for Krishna was absolute, yet it did not diminish her inherent self. She loved without losing her identity, understanding that her connection was spiritual, not dependent on external form or fleeting circumstances. Her example teaches us that true devotion, bhakti, aligns perfectly with self-sovereignty. It is about offering the fullness of your being, not seeking to be filled by another. The essence of this technique is to use the very moment you feel incomplete as a trigger for a spiritual practice. Instead of reacting to the craving or seeking external reassurance, you turn inward. You activate your vontade, your divine will, and consciously choose to observe the thought of incompleteness without granting it power over your key, sense of self. This is how you begin to transmute neediness into unwavering power. This isn't about suppressing emotions, but understanding their true nature and their source in the non-self. By doing this, you reclaim your center, becoming less reactive to the ebb and flow of external relationships and more anchored in the serene ocean of your own being. This is the path to inner liberation and true sovereignty. The illusion of incompleteness is often reinforced by karmic patterns, energetic blueprints that lead us to repeat certain relationship dynamics until the underlying lesson is learned and the energy purified. You might find yourself saying, "Why do I always attract the same type of person?" Or, "Why do I keep ending up in situations where I feel unseen?" This isn't bad luck. It's karma, gently guiding you toward deeper self-awareness. The mind, being a creature of habit, tends to identify with these familiar patterns, even when they bring pain, because the unknown feels more terrifying than the known suffering. Breaking this loop requires a conscious shift from identification with the karmic pattern to observing it from the detached vantage point of the self. Our relationships act as mirrors, reflecting back to us our own internal state, including our perceived lacks and unhealed wounds. If you constantly feel incomplete, you will likely attract experiences or partners who reinforce that feeling, inadvertently creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. This is not about blaming yourself, but about understanding the profound principle of karma as an opportunity for growth. Each interaction, each frustration, offers a chance to observe how your mind reacts, where it attaches, and how it seeks external solutions for internal states. The error that 99% of women make is trying to control the dynamics of the relationship or the behavior of their partner before mastering their own mind. You focus on his actions, his words, his perceived distance, when the real work lies in mastering your own internal reactions to these external stimuli. The Raja Yogi understands that the only true control lies within, the control over one's own thoughts, emotions, and will. This is where your true power of attraction resides. When you become whole within yourself, when your inner cup overflows with self-love and sovereignty, you naturally attract relationships that mirror that completeness. This shift involves recognizing that the yearning you feel is not necessarily for a specific person, but for a deeper connection to your own self. The outer relationship often becomes a symbolic placeholder for this deeper spiritual longing. By consciously choosing to center yourself in your you begin to break the karmic cycle of seeking completion outside. You transmute the energetic pull of old patterns into a conscious choice for a new reality. This is an active process of self-creation, guided by your vontad, not a passive waiting for fate. As Paramahansa Yogananda taught, the entire universe is a manifestation of God's consciousness, and we, as parts of that consciousness, hold the power to shape our reality. The feeling of incompleteness is a fragment of the grand illusion, Maya, that can be dissolved by consistently returning to the truth of your boundless self. This journey of recognizing, observing, and releasing karmic attachments is the pathway to attracting relationships that truly align with your highest dharma, relationships built not on neediness but on shared sovereignty and profound spiritual connection. This is the essence of true liberation in love. The paradox endures: the more you chase external completeness, the more fragmented you feel. The path to sovereignty lies in an internal revolution, recognizing that the perceived incompleteness is an illusion crafted by a mind accustomed to external validation. This realization is not a quick fix, but a profound shift in consciousness, aligning with the timeless wisdom of Raja Yoga. Your peace is not found in his response, his presence, or his validation. It resides in your own unshakable inner fortress. You are being invited to stop trying to fill a void that doesn't truly exist within your authentic self. This journey is about distinguishing between the fleeting desires of the non-self, the ego, the conditioned mind, the anxious emotions, and the boundless, complete nature of your true you. Every pang of longing, every moment of fear, is an opportunity for profound self-observation. Instead of allowing your thoughts to spiral into anxiety, use them as a signal to return to your center. Observe your mind's frantic search for external solutions, and then, with conscious will, gently guide your awareness back to the inherent wholeness that already resides within. This is a continuous practice of spiritual detachment, not from love itself, but from the attachment to the outcome and the illusion that another can complete what is already whole. It means understanding that the pain you've experienced in past relationships, the repeating cycles of disappointment, are not reflections of your unworthiness, but powerful karmic lessons designed to bring you back to your own truth, your own dharma. The path of bhakti, often seen as devotion to an external form, is in its deepest sense devotion to the divine within yourself and within all beings. A devotion that enhances, rather than diminishes, your sovereign self. Reaffirm this truth. Your completeness is an act of sovereign will, not a reaction to someone else's absence or presence. The battle you perceive with external circumstances is, in essence, an internal one, a struggle to reclaim mastery over your own mind. By engaging in this consistent self-observation, by anchoring your consciousness in the unshakable truth of yourself, you begin to dissolve the illusion of neediness. You cease to be a seeker of external love, and instead become the embodiment of love itself, radiating from a place of profound inner sovereignty. Consider the profound metaphor from the Vedic scriptures. The sun, shining eternally, never needs light from an external source. It radiates its own inherent brilliance. Similarly, your true you, your sovereign self, is like this sun. It doesn't need another to shine. Its light is inherent, self-sufficient, and boundless. The feeling of incompleteness is merely a passing cloud, an illusion, Maya, that temporarily obscures this radiant truth. But the sun itself remains untouched, whole, and complete. Radha's journey, though deeply rooted in devotion to Krishna, was fundamentally a journey of self-discovery and supreme self-sovereignty. Her love was not a desperate clinging, but an expansive and unconditional offering that emanated from her own divine completeness. She teaches us that true devotion is not about losing oneself in another, but about finding the divine within oneself and recognizing it in all. She demonstrated that one can be utterly devoted, yet utterly whole and grounded in one's own spiritual identity. Her love was an act of will, a conscious choice, not a reaction to a perceived lack. The silence you sometimes encounter, the distance you perceive in relationships, is not meant to break you. It is often, as the sages teach, a profound invitation from the universe for you to finally turn inward and listen to the silent wisdom of your own sovereign you. It's a sacred pause, a retreat into your inner temple, allowing you to cultivate the unwavering peace that resides there, independent of external circumstances. This is the true meaning of inner stability, to be unperturbed by the external world, rooted in the immutable self. This journey is not about becoming cold or indifferent. It is about loving from a place of power, not need. It is about understanding that true love does not deplete, it expands. By embodying your own sovereignty, by constantly returning to the truth of your inherent completeness, you transform your entire energetic signature. You stop attracting relationships that mirror your perceived lack and begin to draw in connections that resonate with your authentic, powerful, and whole self. This is the enduring legacy of the Vedic wisdom applied to modern love, a path to liberation, not entanglement. If this exploration of the mind's illusion and the path to self-sovereignty resonated with your deepest longings, know that you are not alone on this profound journey. This understanding of your inherent completeness is a powerful step towards transforming your entire experience of relationships. We invite you to delve deeper into this wisdom, to share your own reflections in the comments below, and to engage with a community of introspective women who are also committed to embodying their sovereign you. Your insights are invaluable to our shared growth. If this video helped you reflect on your own self and activated a new understanding, please consider liking this video and sharing this revelation with others who seek genuine spiritual depth. By doing so, you become an active part of our growing community, our Sangha, dedicated to cultivating unwavering inner peace and authentic connection. Your presence here, your commitment to your inner truth, is a profound contribution.